Perfect. Hello and welcome back to the Her Tech Life podcast. I'm really excited to be welcoming Kate on today. Hi, Kate. How are you?
Hi, Kat. I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. It's a pleasure to have you. How's your week been so far?
Yeah, good, thank you. Very busy in the world of further education and Minecraft education as well. Lots going on in both areas for me at the minute. So, yeah, it's good.
Good. Yeah. So you said it's been kind of a lot like FE wise this week. There's been so much going on, Minecraft as well. So that might give people a little bit of a hint about you. But would you mind starting by just introducing yourself a bit?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Kate Whyles and I am a digital innovation and development coach at Nottingham College. Nottingham College is one of the largest FE providers in the UK, and we take on a variety of different provisions across the board. I'm also a Minecraft Education UK ambassador and a STEM ambassador as well, so I'm quite a busy person. I am also a Tech Woman 100 winner, just like yourself there, Kat.
Yay! Congratulations.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me and what I do.
Yeah, and your many hats.
Oh,
Could you
yes,
tell
for
us a little
sure.
bit, because you have got like a few different roles, obviously, could you talk a little bit about some of the things that maybe your role involves? Like, what are some of your responsibilities at Nottingham College, for example?
Yeah, for sure. So my day-to-day life is really, I am responsible for almost like horizon scanning what's out there on the digital landscape. I work predominantly with staff members to make sure that they're knowledgeable and kind of up to skills with their own digital literacy and digital skills, but also have a greater awareness of, you know, what's available to them for their teaching, learning and assessment. Especially with obviously the topic of AI on the horizon. There's an awful lot of products out there that can baffle people if they're not particularly tech savvy. So a good part of my role is to make sure that, you know, I take a gentle approach with them, introduce them to whatever's out there that they want to explore, and make sure that they do it responsibly, and also they don't get overwhelmed. Because if you're not a techie person, which is odd because obviously I am, I kind of absorb it like a sponge.
Yeah.
I think I need to be mindful that not everybody's like that, and it can be super overwhelming. But I also work with students as well, which is just an absolute joy. I work a lot with our SLDD students who are our supported learners, and also the creative industries at Nottingham College as well.
Wow, awesome. And what about, obviously you said you're like a Minecraft education ambassador.
Yeah.
Do you use that within your role as well?
Yeah, I sure do. I introduced Minecraft education to Nottingham College. Oh gosh, it must have been 4 or 5 years ago now, when we were looking at methods of just engaging with our students a little bit better, moving away from almost traditional practices, which have always got their place, but we were just looking to kind of create a more engaging environment for our students. So my interest in game-based learning especially kind of came to the forefront with that, and that's where I discovered the many possibilities and that you can do with Minecraft education. And back in 4 years ago, people were like, no, you can't do this, Kate, because you can't just sit there and play Minecraft with the students. That's just not what we do. So it took a lot of hurdles for me to get over, and now Minecraft education is used quite widely across our campuses. Definitely with our supported learners, our computer science students, A-levels are using Minecraft, are using Minecraft. Everybody really that kind of wants a bit of a taste of an hour of code, and just to kind of understand, the future of, the language that we're going to be speaking in the world of work when they actually leave our college, to get that kind of basic digital literacy under their belt with an hour with me, hopefully, is kind of what I strive for. So yeah, the Minecraft thing is working well.
It's really great. And what about a bit about you outside of work?
Oh gosh, outside of work, what do I do?
It's always hard to remember when you've had a busy week.
I know,
isn't
it's
it?
like, what do I do? So I have a daughter, and love spending time with my crazy daughter. She's absolutely brilliant. We really enjoy music. We go to lots of gigs together.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we like to travel around the country. My husband works in music festivals, so music is quite ingrained
Oh,
in
cool.
in
Yeah.
our day-to-day life. So we do spend a lot of
Mm.
time in fields, which is always good fun.
Yeah.
I also I volunteer as a STEM ambassador in primary schools as well.
Mm.
So that's quite good fun, sort of meeting a different age range of students to what I'm
Mm.
used to within the
Yeah.
FE sector. And I do take the Minecraft joy to these schools, which is always great. So that's something I do sort of after school clubs and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. It's interesting you mentioned music as well, because as well
Yeah.
as tech, you actually also have a background in art as well. So you've got
Yeah.
that like real creative side. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, for sure. So my actual career didn't start in technology, which is as I speak to more women in tech, I'm actually finding that's quite a common theme.
Mm.
My background's actually fine art. So
Mm.
when I was younger, I studied my undergraduate degree at Nottingham Trent University, and that was actually in fine art, which was great. I really enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
specialised in sculpture. And then went into curatorship, where I
Mm.
ran my own art gallery for about 6 years.
Oh, that's so
Within
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. So going from that extreme,
Mm.
I got a bit fed up with working every Christmas, every bank holiday, every
Yeah.
weekend. So I thought, right, I need a shift in my career. And that's where I started to fall in love with education and technology,
Mm.
and secured a position at Nottingham College. And that's where I've been
Mm.
ever since. Yeah, so that's a little bit
Yeah.
about my art roots, really.
Mm. Yeah, that's really interesting. And so, how can those two disciplines then, of like kind of like art and technology, actually be a good combination? Do you think?
I think the more I look at it, the more I'm seeing similarities between the two disciplines.
Mm.
I do work with the creative departments at Nottingham College, which has given me the insights of how you can actually use technology to enhance practices, to collate sketchbook materials, portfolios, sort of all along those lines.
Mm.
Obviously, with AI technologies coming in, there's a hot topic of conversation around practice, which we're having at the minute with my art students. Who it's quite heated debate sometimes
Mm.
on is it going to take over the practices? Is it dumbing
Yeah.
down the traditional practices? And I think, all these dialogues are really relevant in today's society as
Mm.
this new technology
Yeah.
filters through to our young people and our young artists especially. I think I'm in quite a privileged position to have almost a taste of both worlds, so I can sort of develop an opinion and hopefully have those kind of intellectual discussions with my young people about
Mm.
what AI is and what how technology can enhance the artistic practices moving forward.
Mm. Yeah, that must be really interesting, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
pretty
it's
cool.
definitely a hot topic at the moment, isn't it?
It
So,
is.
yeah, I love that. Um,
Thank you.
Obviously, so you're a STEM ambassador, and you're really passionate about technology and education. How do you think that we can encourage more girls into tech careers? Because we know that women in tech are really underrepresented. And if we want to kind of change that, we have to kind of start, almost like embedding that as young as we can to get more girls interested at a later age. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I think you've really kind of addressed that to hit the nail on the head there, Kat, actually. So I think early intervention with things like this is key. Early
Mm.
education. And I do go into primary schools and I see girls in primary schools are always excited to see someone from Minecraft. They think I'm married
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Mr. Mojang. I'm not, all of this kind of
They
stuff.
just have to check.
Yeah, which is really cool. But then, some of the students, male and female, when I walk through the door, they're like, "You can't work for Minecraft because you're a woman," and this
Mm.
is quite disconcerting for me, which makes me
Especially
think,
that young an age to already have that
yeah,
stereotype in
absolutely.
mind,
And
you think?
this is 5, 6, 7-year-old kids saying this
Yeah.
to me. So
Mm.
I think the work I do in that hat really is so important. And, getting that kind of almost that understanding that no matter what gender you are or background you come from, you can do whatever you want in this world. Just take those opportunities. And delivering things on the platform like Minecraft is so inclusive because people get excited about it. They're familiar with it. Some of them, not everyone's a gamer, but they might understand a little bit about how it looks and almost feel like, oh gosh, we're going to play a bit of Minecraft today. That's really exciting. But by the end of the sessions that I deliver with primary school kids, they're actually coding. So no matter what ability or how much you've been exposed to computer science or any kind of computer language, they're giving it a shot. And I think that's really, really, really special. It's really special. And my heart just fills with joy every time we finish one of our sessions and the students get this little certificate that they generate because they finished all the activities.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my gosh, I've done an hour of code, but I'm rubbish at maths. And it's like, well, so am I, and I'm doing this. So it kind of highlights the importance of not being afraid to try something, not being afraid to fail, and don't think you can't do it because somebody might have told you that you can't do it. And, this goes back to the young females that I speak to, and even at, sort of FE level, they've still got that misconception that, oh, I can't do that. That's not for females. That's not for us. I can't see anybody that looks like me in that role, so I don't think I can do that. So I'm really trying hard to sort of, break that glass ceiling, break those barriers, just go, look at me, I'm not your traditional computer scientist, but I can do this, and so can you. Just give it a try.
Yeah, it's a good point. It is difficult having that, that like a role model. So the work that you're doing is really important. But I also like what you said about making it accessible and engaging. I think sometimes there's probably a lot of misconceptions about like how much knowledge or skills you have to be able to even get into tech. But there's so many different like roles within it and, different levels.
And I think having a bit of fun with it, because tech can be quite dry and can be quite intimidating for people that are looking in from the outside. I touched on the fact that everyone assumes that if you can code, you need to be super academic, super clever, have a fantastic array of brilliant grades in maths. No, I failed maths so many times at GCSE that I was always under the impression that I was rubbish at it and I can't do it. And then, that brings me on to recently I've achieved a MSc master's degree in computer science. So, anyone can do that. Anyone can do it, even at my grand old age.
Oh, don't you tell. You look very young to me. No, honestly, but that is great though. Obviously, like you say, you can always learn new things. It's like a continuous process, isn't it? But could you talk a little bit about your experience then of getting your your MSc? What was that like?
Well, yeah, of course. I was an older student, and it was something that I've wanted to explore for a number of years, because obviously I've explained that my background is art, so on paper I look like an artist. I don't look like anyone that is in the technology world or technology circles at all. So I didn't do a master's degree after my degree because I went full steam into the world of work, and that's where I stayed for a number of years. So I thought, right, now or never, now is the time. Let's just do it. So my love for computer science, I thought, this is it. I've got to do it. And I loved it. And like I said, I am an older learner. I graduated recently with a distinction as well, which I was completely baffled by. I couldn't, I still can't understand how I managed that. But anyway, I did. So I'm very proud. And it really did open my eyes to things that I just didn't know within the world of tech. And, working in tech, you assume that you do. And things, I learned everything from cybersecurity to I did the history of computer science, more coding, all of these wonderful things that I'm just completely in love with. And now I can marry that up with my my art practices as well. It's just a beautiful kind of mix of delights for me, digital delights. But the funny thing was, when I did graduate and I did go to the University of Sunderland to do that, I was one of the only females that graduated in that discipline on the day.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
there's still a lot of work we've got to do.
yeah, still a
And that
huge
was,
gap then.
yeah, I think that was a bit of an eye-opener for me, because I don't know, I thought we are making so much progress in this area. It's really exciting. There's got to be loads more women in there. And yeah, I think I was the only woman that in computer science discipline that walked across that stage,
Wow.
which was a
Yeah.
bit of a shocker.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, there was quite a nice balance in specific areas like data and
Okay. That's interesting.
cybersecurity. There was a lovely balance there, so more
Yeah.
specific. But
Okay.
with my discipline being purely computer science, that, you know, I was
You were
the
the
only
only
one.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So it's still, like you say, then there's still like a huge disparity, but it's good to hear that there are some areas where it's improving at least.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Interesting. I'm clearly glad that you enjoyed it. Was there anything in particular that you found challenging about doing the masters, would you say?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yes, it's hard. Yes,
The
doing the
whole
masters
thing.
is hard.
I was like, what am I doing? Because
Mm,
I did it on the back of a full-time job, and obviously my responsibilities with my family. So it was almost
a lot
weekends and
then to
evenings.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of juggling. But I'm a learner. I'm a continuous learner,
Mm,
and I love to learn. So I was convinced that, you know, I'm not going to give up on this. I need to keep going. And some of the areas that I thought, gosh, I'm completely out of my depth here. I don't understand this. I don't know if this is for me. You know, you do
mm,
get to that point, and I do
mm,
think that's like, you know, a lot of things in life where you just think, no, I can't do it. But, you know, I think we need to, as women in tech, we need to reset, have a think,
mm,
go outside for a bit, go for a run, you know, have a cup of tea, and then come back and look at it again. And it's
mm,
all about, you know, don't give up, just keep going.
mm.
And if I can do it, anyone can do it, you know.
I love that. Yeah, have a cup of tea and give it another go. Or go for a run.
Tea
Let's try
solves a lot
again.
of problems. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really does. What would be your advice if someone was interested in a career like yours?
I think if somebody was interested, go and find a mentor. I think
Mm,
mentorship is massive,
yeah.
and within the tech industry, it's priceless. And I think I would encourage more people in tech to become mentors themselves as well. If they can spare an hour a week to mentor a young person and just have that voice of, yeah, this is what happens here, you know, this is what you can do with this. Maybe that's not your choice. Maybe look at something different. You know, have
Mm,
that soundboard. I think that's kind of the advice I would give to people with that early intervention, primary school age. You know, making each little kid understand that they can do whatever they like.
yeah.
You know, blend it with a mentorship. Then yeah, I think that's the advice I'd give to anyone that wants to explore tech. Just speak to other people. We're not scary, we're
Mm.
not stuffy, we're not going to
No.
judge you on your ability or any questions. I love the questions that I get asked by young people, and some of them are completely off the chart, but absolutely make my day. You know,
Mm.
that's the thought of, you know, do you have to wear a white coat as a computer scientist? Like, sometimes I really want that now. You know, now you've put that in my
Yeah.
head. Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's
You
like,
know,
oh, why don't I have one?
yeah, but I don't. You know, and
No,
you know,
I
silly
love
questions like
it.
that. But
Mm,
I think once you've got a relationship with a mentor and
mm,
you finding common ground, then young people can ask whatever they want and feel
mm,
free to ask whatever they want. And hopefully that will steer them into taking more risks when it comes to either choosing GCSE choices in a STEM subject,
mm,
or moving on into college, or, you know, moving on into a fantastic career, which are
mm,
the most well-paid careers in the world at the minute, or tech. So
mm.
come on, you know, especially them young women, we need you in that area.
Definitely. Yeah, and yeah, I love the advice and mentorship. I think it's so valuable, isn't it? Having a mentor, having someone just give you that
Absolutely.
guidance, that sounding board. So my last question, really, although I probably kind of know the answer based on what we talked about already, is what change do you want to see in the tech industry, and how do you think we get there?
Oh, okay. Tech industry. obviously the gender balance, I think I've already addressed that.
Yeah.
But I think we need to be responsible with how our industry is developing, and it can't all be one-sided. So the more we talk as individuals, as humans, male and female, to achieve that gender balance and embed diversity into the sector, the better it's going to be. And looking at barking back to AI again, look at the biases that are coming out of AI at the minute. The articles I'm reading, it's shocking. If we can address that at this almost kind of early stage with AI in its development, then we can only develop a better, fairer, more humanized sector. So diversity, accessibility, gender balance is what I want to see.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Kate. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Anytime. Thanks for having me, Kat.